Wondering where you should travel to get the most bang for your buck? Today I have the answers. I'm sharing my top 5 most budget-friendly travel solutions. Welcome back. I hope you're all having a fantastic week. I'm Brianna at Travel Dolce, and today I'm sharing all about budget-friendly travel destinations. And this actually came as a request from one of our viewers, so thank you so much for that. If you're looking to travel on a budget, my first recommendation is an ocean cruise. So ocean cruises can be a great option if you're trying to save money because they are most of them are all-inclusive, meaning that your food and everything, that your entertainment, your room, everything is included in the price of your fare. Now, there are some hidden fees or some things that will cost extra. So things like alcoholic drinks, even pop or soda, as some people call it, may cost extra. Now, typically you can buy a drink package at the beginning of your cruise. The pop or soda packages, I think if you have a big pop drinker, can be worth it. The alcoholic drink packages that we've seen, typically we don't drink enough to make that worth it, but if it's a part of a promotion or a discounted room, they can be worth it to do. So it just depends how much you're going to drink. We typically, if we cruise, we'll just purchase our drinks out of pocket. In addition to those hidden drink costs, gratuities is another area that can be a hidden cost. So anytime you order a drink from one of those waiters or at the bar, there's probably going to be gratuity added on to those. Now, some cruises will let you pay those gratuities ahead of time at the time of booking as part of your package, and that way you don't have to worry about it and it won't show up on your bill at the end of the cruise. Now, if you are prepaying those gratuities, or even if you're going to take care of them at the end of your trip, be sure you know what staff is included in those gratuities, because it can get a little bit lopsided sometimes. So, you have your room stewards, your waiters. At dinner, you'll typically have the same waiters every night, and they make it their privilege to get to know you. So, share a little bit about yourself, and if you order a Coke every night at dinner, they'll have it there waiting for you. They do their very, very best to try and make things personal for you and fun. So they work hard for those tips. So please just pay attention to who all is included in those gratuities and at what percentage of the gratuity they get. Because you can leave additional gratuities, like for, say, instance, the room steward isn't included in those gratuities, but if they're folding those towel animals for you every single night on your bed, you want to be sure that you leave them a pretty nice tip. Or maybe they are included in the gratuities, but it's at a very low percentage. So just pay attention to those gratuities and how they're all divvied out among the staff, because you definitely don't want to leave anyone out. Another plus to cruising is that you often get to see more than one destination during a cruise. So if your goal is to see more of the world and get to more places throughout your lifetime, a cruise can be a really great option. So if you're looking for a super good deal on a cruise, you might look into a repositioning cruise. Cruise lines will move their ships according to season. So of course you might see them up in Alaska during the summertime and down in the Caribbean in the winter when it's freezing cold in Kansas. It just makes sense. So they don't want to move those ships across the Atlantic or the Pacific or the Panama Canal empty. So what they'll do is offer super discounted one-way sailings on a repositioning cruise. So this just means that you'll start in one location and you'll end your cruise in another location. It won't be like a round trip situation. So your flights will likely be out of different cities or ports. So just keep that in mind. But it can offer super big savings. And again, you're going to see probably a larger area of the world because you're starting and ending in two different places. These cruises cost significantly less than high season cruises, but you're still going to have all the amenities of the ship. You're still going to have the dining options and the entertainment and everything else that you typically would. It's just going to be at a much cheaper cost. It's just going to be at a much cheaper cost and way less crowded. Also, you can utilize these repositioning cruises to get to certain parts of the world. So if you're thinking of going to Europe, instead of buying a pricey flight, perhaps you could take a repositioning cruise. So of course it's going to take you a lot longer to get there, but it's such a relaxing way to travel and you can kind of enjoy the journey more. So if you have the time to spare, you might think about a repositioning cruise to change continents. An added bonus to doing this is there's no jet lag. Budget-friendly option number 2 is a river cruise. So if you want to see multiple cities in Europe, you may want to consider a river cruise. A lot of the cities in Europe are built along waterways, and these cruise vessels that go on the rivers oftentimes can navigate smaller waterways. They're not quite as big as those ocean liners, so they can navigate ports and areas that their bigger counterparts just can't. Most river cruises are geared towards seasoned travelers that are pretty independent and can explore the destinations themselves, although some excursions can be included in the price of the cruise. The prices for these cruises are typically lower January to May, and then their peak season or high season is June to September. Sometimes during the off season, you can get deals that are as low as $25 per person for a 9-day cruise through Europe. So keep your eye out in that low season, and this is a super good deal because most of those river cruises, just like the ocean cruises, are all inclusive. And I think on the river cruises, it's even more all-inclusive, meaning that alcoholic beverages and other things that weren't necessarily included on the ocean liners are included on those river cruises. And like I said, sometimes even excursions. So if you port and get off the ship river cruise, you may have some included activities even to go along with. It's a great bargain way to see Europe without sacrificing any of the comfort. My third budget-friendly option are all-inclusive resorts. So all-inclusives are great because there's usually minimal hidden fees. That means you can eat all the food and drink all the alcohol you want at that set price that you pay before you go. So that is why I recommend all-inclusive resorts. Usually the best prices for all-inclusives are found around the Cancun or Riviera Maya area. There is plenty of supply here, so that makes the prices a little bit more affordable. They have adult-only options and family-friendly options as well. If you're thinking of taking your family, Cancun is also a great option because it's a very well-developed tourist area. Now, they have a vested interest in keeping the tourists safe and accommodating them just because they want to keep them coming back. So, and with a little bit more developed area also comes possible health care if you end up needing it. So, family location, I think it's great for that just because with the development, there is a little bit more options. There are a little bit more options like for healthcare and things like that. Now, I can't vouch for Mexican healthcare, but at least you'll probably be able to find something, there versus a more remote area. My fourth option for a budget-friendly travel destination is pretty much anywhere you can drive. So let's face it, flying is a hassle and it's expensive. So packing up the family in the car can definitely save you some big bucks on that travel. If you're buying 4 or 5 plane tickets, the gas is definitely going to beat those flights. So it's fun to kind of make a whole road trip out of it. Maybe you can stop at several destinations along the way. Or visit family along the way and just make a whole trip out of it. my fifth budget saving option is to stay with family or to travel with family. So if you have family that lives in a fun travel destination and they don't mind you crashing with them, it's kind of fun to go visit them and just share that experience with them, share that vacation with them. Plus you're going to save a ton of money on lodging, so it's a great option to be able to stay with family. Or if you just are traveling with family and you can rent like a VRBO or an Airbnb together and divide up the cost, that can have some money savings as well. Also, if you have a place to prepare and store food, that's also going to save money on not having to eat out every meal. So if you're in like a rental property that has a kitchen and you can either go get groceries or have groceries delivered by Prime or Instacart and prepare some of those meals, that can be a super helpful way to save some dollars. So that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed my top 5 budget travel destinations and tips. I would love to hear yours if you have any, so drop them in the comments below. And remember to go ahead and subscribe and ring that notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload. I post new videos every single Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. So I'll always post on all of my social media accounts when the videos go live. I'll put them up on the screen here and in the description box below so you guys know where to look for them and can find my videos. And I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.